After a good run in the B&H Cup, the Flames started their BNL season at home against their near neighbours, the Basingstoke Bison. In a close game which remained at stalemate until the third period when Caribiet scored, only for Drew Burgess to equalise in the dying minutes and take the game into overtime and penalties. New boy Mark MacArthur made a superb save against Burgess, but unfortunately Guildford weren't able to capitalise at the other end, so it was down to O'Connell. The games between these two teams were to prove more critical as the season wore on. Next up at the Spectrum were last season's league and playoff champions, the Fife Flyers. The Flames took control of this match right from the start, firing 3 unreplied goals past the Scottish club in the opening 2 periods. But with a final score of 3-2, it was the first BNL home victory of the season. The Paisley Pirates were next to visit the Spectrum, and 2 goals each from Derek DeCosti and recent acquisition Jason Jennings saw the Flames through to a comfortable 8-1 victory and another 2 points. Guy Fawkes night marked the first visit of the Capitals to Guildford. After a tight first period which witnessed a Caribiet equalising goal to an early Goran Carlson effort, the Flames put 4 unreplied goals on the board in the middle period, but kept the best till last. The Laney, Plant and Campbell line showed some nice link-up play to put away number 9. And before the announcer had finished giving the stats of the goal, Ryan Campbell, Guildford's longest serving player, put away goal 10 straight from the face-off. The last goal was the strangest ever seen at the Spectrum. A superb slap shot from Barclay Pearce was blocked by the Capitals netminder Ryan Ford, who watched helplessly as the puck deflected onto his post, bounced and went in off his back. Another high-scoring game was in store for the Guildford faithful with a visit of the Hull Thunder. Mark MacArthur recorded his first shutout of the season. Ricky Plant helped himself to one of the quickest goals of the season just 43 seconds into the game after a mistake from Tom Noble in the Thunder's net. The Plant line would go on to be involved in 5 of the 10 goals, underlining the strength of all 3 lines that coach Stan Marple had built together. Despite the scoreline, MacArthur faced almost the same amount of shots as his Hull counterpart, but Guildford's number one continued to disappoint the Thunder's travelling support with a string of fine saves. Barclay Pearce illustrated the importance of following up shots with an excellent solo effort. And the new pair of Hagen-Smith showed the on-ice understanding that made Stan Marple bring them to Surrey. The Peterborough Pirates were next up, but despite 2 goals for the ever-impressive Derek DeCosti and the Flames outshooting the Peterborough team 59-35, it ended in a disappointing night for the majority of the 1,600-strong crowd, with the Pirates taking the game by 5-3. After the previous week's result, the visit of Milton Keynes with the dangerous Claude Dumas meant this wasn't going to be an easy fixture. The game saw the arrival of Nicky Chinn from the London Knights, and he marked his home debut with an assist in the opening minute of the game. Derek DeCosti carried on his excellent scoring run, putting away a goal in each period. But the Flames owed a lot to Mark MacArthur, coming up with save after save after save after save after save. He was picked for man of the match by the Flames' number 7, who ended the evening with a hat-trick. With December and the festive season finally approaching, Guildford found themselves still sitting in 3rd place after 18 games on 24 points, 7 behind runaway leaders Coventry Blaze. At the beginning of the festive season, Guildford were in no mood to give the Pirates any gifts. Mark MacArthur in particular was in a Scrooge-like mood, presenting Doug McEwen's team with a firm shutout. Jason Stone opened the scoring with a rasping shot from the blue line. Not wanting to be outdone, David Smith added his own Christmas cracker. John Haig and Nicky Chinn piled on the agony for Peterborough to take the score to 3-0. And then straight from the face-off, Derek DeCosti helped himself to some Christmas cheer. "4-0, and it's still only the first period." A well-worked team goal with a cool finish from Kerry Biet saw the Surrey team coast into the second period, MacArthur facing only 6 shots as opposed to the 22 on Rattanen's net. With only 3 seconds to go in the game, Guildford chalked up another goal and another 2 points in the B&L. Next up in the league at the Spectrum were the high-flying Coventry Blaze. This was an intensive game with both netminders facing an equal amount of shots. A patient build-up on the power play was rewarded by a fantastic goal from the Flames' number 21. A disputed goal from the Blaze in the second period brought the scores level and increased the intensity of the game. Unable to break the deadlock, the match went into overtime and a disappointing outcome for the Flames, but this was to be the last defeat on home ice for the rest of the season in all competitions. At the turn of the year, Guildford started to apply the pressure to runaway leaders Coventry Blaze and found themselves in joint second along with 5 Flyers, with Basingstoke Bison closely behind on 32. The new year brought the Edinburgh Capitals back to Surrey, 2 more B&L points and a goal after only 11 seconds. In a slightly bad-tempered match that delivered 44 minutes of penalties, Guildford comfortably saw off their Scottish opponents by 6-1. The following night brought the visits of another struggling B&L team, Milton Keynes. The Kings, however, hadn't read the script and scored first after just 3 minutes. Stan Marple's team responded instantly, scoring 2 goals in the next minute. Nicky Chin seizing on a defensive mistake to start the rout. Jason Stone sent in a blue line shot for John Haig to tip in for a Guildford lead and normal service resumed. David Smith sealed the match later on in the game, making it look all so easy. Another 2 points, and Guildford were beginning a very promising winning run. Hull's second visit ended with them receiving the same result as their first, a convincing defeat by the Guildford Flames. Kerry Biet took a brace of goals to keep him near the top of the point scorers table. And Stan Marple showed that he can still mix it when needs be. A case of won one contact and lost another. Jason Jennings finished the game off with a goal assisted by captain Wayne Crawford and netminder Mark MacArthur. After being on the receiving end of a 15-1 scoreline at the hands of Basingstoke the night before, the last place Paisley Pirates wanted to visit was Guildford. A shutout from both Mark MacArthur and Grant King on for the majority of the match, Paisley were condemned to much of the same as the previous night. John Haig, showing no mercy to his fellow countrymen, scored a hat-trick, and 3 other Guildford players took 2 goals each, including debut goals for Neil Adams, and John Hatburn grabbed his first for the club. The challenge facing Stan Marple's boys the following week was a massive one. Coventry Blaze were BNL leaders, and this was a must-win game if Guildford were to hold out any hope of winning the championship. A dream start saw assistant captain Carrie Biette put the home side ahead seconds after the face-off. And minutes later, Biette, assisted by Wayne Crawford, finished coolly despite the close attention of Coventry's D-men. Mark MacArthur made some fine saves to keep Guildford's lead and go 2-0 ahead at the end of the first period. The second period was not going to be as kind, and the Midlanders pulled the 2-goal deficit back, applying huge pressure onto MacArthur's net. But Stan Marple's team has always been known for its fast transitional play. John Haig showed why. (3-2) going into the final period. Guildford poured the pressure on and were rewarded for the hard work with a Derek DeCoste goal giving the Flames a 2-goal cushion. Guildford were not about to sit upon their lead and work the Blaze into making mistakes. Mistakes that you can't afford to make with finishing like this. Still not content with the scoreline, Nicky Chin put away number 6 to leave Guildford looking good for the championship. If the league was looking good, the NTL Cup was looking even better. A final with last season's holders, Fife Flyers, was beckoning, and even the return of the outstanding Stephen Murphy between the pipes for Fife couldn't stop Guildford. You didn't want to be late for this game. David Smith put the home side up after just 28 seconds. And Guildford's number 39, Nicky Chin, doubled that lead just 2 minutes later. Another minute and another goal from the Plant Laney Campbell line. And with less than 5 minutes gone, Derek DeCoste got in on the action, 4-0. And it wasn't just the game the Flames won. If someone could please tell Russell Monteith what day it is. With only 4 weeks to go, Basingstoke Bison found themselves at the top of the table, but Guildford were not going to give up hope of another championship and kept themselves in close contention. The season had been a disappointing one for local rivals, the Slough Jets, and by a quirk of the fixtures, they hadn't visited the Spectrum for a league match until now. Things were not going to get any better for them. In a physical game, Guildford continued on their impressive winning streak, and although conceding early on, put 5 past the struggling Jets. Mark MacArthur registered another first-class performance and made net-minding look easy. Jason Stone fired in from the blue line and Derek DeCoste put the tip in. The start of another hat-trick for the American.
Sponsored by J&D Contractors, assisted by number 72 and number 39, who's sponsored by KTS Surveys. Time of the goal, power play goal, 36 minutes.
A 5-1 scoreline illustrated how hard the Flames were fighting for each point. Next up were the Fife Flyers, who still had an outside chance of the championship if they could take 2 points from this fixture. Despite immense Guildford pressure, Stephen Murphy's goal remained safe, leaving the opening period goalless. Both teams got a goal apiece in the next 20, Derek DeCosti putting away for the Surrey team. But the third period was to bring 3 more goals, all for the Flames. Nicky Chin continued to impress by finding the back of the net. But the evening belonged to the Flames' number 7, who scored another hat-trick. This was becoming a habit. Kirkcaldy has never been an easy place to play. The atmosphere created by the partisan support and the lack of plexiglass have ensured that Guildford have been on the end of some disappointing results over the years. So the value of a 4-1 aggregate score going into the second leg of the NTL Cup final was not to be underestimated. But none of the team were looking at just holding their lead. This was a club high on confidence and team spirit, and they wanted to win. But Fife had been on the wrong end of a 4-1 scoreline to the Flames twice in the last couple of weeks, and they weren't about to roll over. After a goalless first period in which Mark MacArthur was a colossus, the Flames put 2 unreplied goals past the home team, making the aggregate score 6-1 with just 20 minutes left to play. A third period comeback saw the Flyers pull 2 goals back to tie the scores on the night, but the Flames had come for the win. The final hooter brought a sweet victory for the team, especially the ex-Fife men John Haig and David Smith. After the disappointment of the B&H Cup final, this victory was going to be enjoyed.
We didn't want to sit back and allow Fife their very skillful side, and you know, there's a danger of us sitting back and letting them come to us, so we wanted to go to them, and we scored the first 2 goals, which was huge, and then a little bit of a lack of discipline late in the game got them back in the game, but we're very happy to get the win.
What was the secret in getting the victory here tonight?
I think it was just a concerted team effort. You know, it was everybody on the bench from the British guys, Johnny Haig and David Smith coming to their hometown, to Mac standing up in goal, to some of the forwards. You know, just a whole team effort. Paul Dixon had a good game. Reg played well too. I mean, everybody played well, and that's what you have to do to come in here to win. You need every guy going, doing their job, doing the little things, and come out on top.
They're always special when you get some silverware to hold, and the last couple of years we've been, I think, so close in a lot of different competitions, and we've just missed out. Last year's league campaign was an example of that, where it was so disappointing. We played so well all year long, and to miss out by 2 points was really disappointing, but we've got something else now for the cabinet, for the Guildford Flames, and it's pretty special. So I think there's a different determination, and a lot of the core of the team is back, and I think the guys that, you know, felt that disappointment have sort of, you know, pulled together, and it made all the difference. And I think if you look at the depth of the team, you know, right through our team on any given night, anybody can do the business, and that's what's happening. We're getting quality performance from everybody right through the side, and we've just got to keep going. We're on a great run, but we're not finished yet.
Is this the springboard to go on and win the league, perhaps?
Well, I hope so. I mean, we've just got to win our games, worry about ourselves. The situation we're in just now, I think Basingstoke have got to drop a game, but they're coming at Fife on Saturday. Not a lot of teams winning Fife, you know, so hopefully Fife can beat Basingstoke on Saturday. We can win our last 3 games, the title will be ours. I think we deserve it. I mean, we started off a bit shaky, but it took us a bit of time to gel. But since the middle of December, we've been unbelievable. Some games we've been winning without, it's like we're not even in top gear, and we're still beating top teams. So, you know, that's a good sign, obviously. And I think, you know, I think we could go into some major things.
With Basingstoke just edging the Flames in the league, Guildford knew they had to keep the pressure firmly on by taking maximum points to add to the winning run, which was quickly approaching 20 games. Ricky Plant opened the scoring with a well-taken individual goal and added to his impressive scoring record against Slough. MacArthur looked as solid as usual, underlining his claim for the most valuable player of the season. Another possible recipient for the award, Nicky Chin, was having a little bit of trouble with the puck getting wedged in his glove. Well, he thought it was funny. David Smith wrapped up the game with a good goal and even better celebration. Two more B&L points and the pressure was definitely on the Bison. A Fife win against Basingstoke set up the final game of the Findus British National League as the most exciting. The Hampshire team held a slender 1-point lead that meant this game was winner takes all, a victory handing either Charlie Cologne or Stan Marple the championship. A goalless and slightly nervy first period was replaced by an intensely fought second, with both netminders having to be at their best. Derek DeCosti, assisted by Jason Jennings, grabbed the opening goal, the number 7 finishing coolly to send the home support wild. A second goal from Guildford's longest-serving player Ryan Campbell gave the Flames an advantage and a glimpse of the Findus British National League Championship. But in the dying minutes of the middle period, Basingstoke's Danny Mayers broke free to score a stunning goal from the blue line and bring his team back into the game and the championship. The third period was all about Guildford. From the moment the puck dropped, the Surrey team poured on the pressure, to be rewarded by a Nicky Ching goal and restoration of the 2-goal cushion. Earlier, Ryan Campbell had announced that he would be retiring from ice hockey at the end of the season, and it seemed fitting that the long-serving number 10 should get the goal that put the game and the Findus British National League title beyond Basingstoke. With the cheers still ringing from Campbell's effort, Jason Jennings finished the game in style, taking the score to 5-1 and bringing the Findus British National League to Guildford. The style of the goal was only eclipsed by Campbell's celebration.
Dan, who would have thought it, end of December, and then just no losses in the league since then. Absolutely stunning performance and enough to bring you the title.
Yeah, well, I got to give all that credit to my players. They really dug deep. They listened to what I had to say, and they executed it night in and night out. And right from just have to thank my players, management, everything. Management gave me the tools to do the job, and and just treat us so professionally all the time. Malcolm Norman, John Hepburn. It's just a pleasure to work for those two guys and the team. They just did everything I asked of them after Christmas, and it's a great victory tonight.
Could you believe that it actually came down to this final game? How amazing is that?
Well, the thing was we lost at home to Coventry just before the end of December, and we said to ourselves in Peterborough, we said, boys, in order for us to win the league, we can't afford to drop one game. And it was a sense of urgency. We all felt it. We all backed each other up, and we came up with the goods. And I just can't say enough about the guys in that room.
It's so close this season. You've done it. You must be absolutely chuffed with that.
Yeah, I mean, last year to be bridesmaids by 1 point stung all summer. And looking at the schedule at Christmas time, it didn't look good, and I think everybody realized what we had to do the second half of the year to raise the cup tonight, and we set our minds to it, and it feels really good because a lot of people wrote us off, and we believed in that room all along that we could do it, and we went and won 20 in a row and won the cup.
Mr. Campbell, and an assist and all sorts of things.
Sometimes it goes your way. Sometimes it just goes your way, Pete. Tonight was one of those nights, thankfully.
And man of the match brought your way as well.
Yeah, more importantly though, Guildford Flames got a second championship BNL title, and it really is special. As we've sort of heard, this league this year was so tight from start to finish. There was probably 6 teams in it from the beginning of the league, possibly 7 at the start people thought would have had a chance, and it went down. We were probably at the beginning of January there's 6 teams that were in it, then we sort of dropped one off, then we dropped another one off, and up until a couple weeks ago there was 4 teams in it, a chance to win. When you get such a league with that parity, it's just unbelievable, and the fact that we can now say we're the best in 2001, it's pretty special when you've got a league campaign like that.
You've done it against your old side tonight. You needed to beat them to do it, and it's happened. An amazing winning run to come to an end, and it's the result you needed.
Yeah, with the win, it's just kind of hard when you look back at it. Think we just won 20 games in a row. We just won the league, but everybody did what they had to do again. It's been our kind of the forte since Christmas, and it was close there for a bit. Again, Mac makes some big saves early, keeps us in the game, and we've got some firepower, and we got a few goals there, and timely again. Just when things were kind of on our heels, we swung it around and got a big goal, and just rode the momentum all the way to the last buzzer.
Nice to be captain of a championship-winning club, eh?
It certainly is. Yeah, I've been captain, but never to pick up silverware. And we've had 2, so there's nothing. One thing better than 2 is 3. So hopefully now we get 1 for the end of the playoffs.
It's been an emotional rollercoaster ride for the Flames over the last couple of weeks, both on and off the ice. To get 2 trophies in as many weeks is pretty amazing.
I think so. I think after we lost the B&H Cup by 1 goal early in the year, I think that really got us focused and determined for the rest of the honors, and there's 1 more yet to go, and we want it very bad.
Stan, congratulations, thanks.
Thank you.
2 down and 1 to go was the message being sent out from the Guildford dressing room. Despite taking the NTL Cup and the championship, the Flames were still hungry for more success. Coventry Blaze were first up at the spectrum. The Blaze, who had been so strong throughout the season, had an early advantage with a power play, just 5 minutes into the match. But Guildford's transitional play, matched with Caribiet's finishing, means that the Flames are still a threat when short-handed. A point that Jason Jennings emphasised 20 seconds later.
Scored by number 21, who's sponsored by Big Line Taxis. Assisted by number 22, who's sponsored by Explorer. And number 1, who's sponsored by Northwood Forest Products. Shorthand goal time of 5:40.
Chris Crombie, who had suffered a wretched season through injury, was coming back to his best in more ways than one. A well-taken Nicky Ching goal wrapped the game up in the middle of the second period to leave the Surrey team with a comfortable win. A similar score the following night at Milton Keynes ensured 2 more points, and a visit of the Kings was next up at the Spectrum. The Flames clearly demonstrating their superiority by putting 5 past the visitors before the Kings could find a reply. Nicky Chin and Jason Jennings opened the scoring in the first period. And the gap between the sides was held by the type of solid goaltending that had earned Mark MacArthur a place in the Findus British National League All-Star team. But playoff hockey isn't just about goals, it's about passion, and this game had plenty of that. They say all good things must come to an end, and that's what happened to Guildford's impressive winning run at the hands of Peterborough in overtime. Unfortunately, the Gremlins also got into our cameras, and we apologise for the technical fault. The Flames, already in the last 4, quickly took the lead through the American Express, Derek DeCoste, in under a minute. This wasn't a game for the faint-hearted, with 5 players picking up game penalties. But that's playoff hockey. The Slough Jets had put in an impressive turn of form in the playoffs and awaited the Flames in the semis. The away leg had produced a 5-2 victory for Guildford, so the Jets had it all to do on the following night at the Spectrum. The impressive Kerry Biet opened the scoring for the home team, finishing some nice combination play with line mates Derek DeCoste and Jason Jennings. Now the next piece of video is somewhat of a collector's item. Stan Marple collects a point for an assist, taking his season total to 1. The line of Chin, Smith and Haig had been a strong one for Stan Marple, and they showed why in taking the 4th goal, putting the match beyond their local rivals, winning 10-4 in aggregate and booking a place in the finals. The local rivalry continued into the final with a meeting of near neighbours, the Basingstoke Bison. The first leg saw Guildford take a convincing lead to give themselves a huge advantage going into the final game. The Flames' number 7 opened the scoring and underlined just what an excellent season Derek DeCoste had achieved over the last year. But despite his impressive form, DeCoste didn't finish as the club's highest scorer. That honour went to Kerry Biet, who added to his tally with the second goal of the game. And the third. With Biet and DeCoste both scoring, it was about time that line mate Jason Jennings continued the trend. So he did. John Haig got in on the act as well to secure the playoffs and the third piece of silverware of the season.
Ryan, just an unbelievably emotional moment for anyone that's been attached to Guildford for any length of time, let alone the length of time you've been there.
What can I say, Peter? I don't think many guys that play professional sports in anything can finish a career having announced their retirement on a high in front of a full house in your own building and a winning championship like that. I can't explain the emotion that I went through, and sort of the last 5 minutes of the game when it really started to sink in, looking up at the clock and sort of watching, it was like every second was almost standing still as it counted down. It was truly an amazing moment for me.
I noticed actually I was near the bench towards the end of the game, and I saw some of the other players sort of just keeping you going and everything like that. Were you sort of beginning to sort of almost lose at the plot a little bit?
Well, you know what was quite nice about the whole night is, and it's actually just sort of a continuation of the whole year, we've got such a great bunch of guys, and they made it really special for me. A lot of them, tapping me on the pads, just you go and enjoy the night, kid. And that was sort of all throughout the game.
It is amazing that at Christmas time to think that there's now, 3 months later, 3 trophies in the can and well won. It's an amazing turnaround.
Well, I'll tell you what, we were in 4th place at Christmas, and a lot of people wrote us off for the league, and they said concentrate on the playoffs and the Christmas Cup, and we said forget that. We knew what we were capable of doing, and we nutted up, and I think we went 21 in a row, 23 in a row, or something like that, and that just doesn't happen every day, Pete, and it shows the commitment and the sacrifice that all the guys give me all year, and I just truly appreciate it.
And also the building crowds that you've had watching you over the last few weeks, the last few months, it just got bigger and bigger each time to another massive capacity crowd tonight.
The support in this town has been exceptional, and I can't say enough about the people who have helped us out along the way, and all our sponsors. It's just been huge, and the support of the fans, the guys that are coming week in and week out to cheer us on. It was like we had an extra man out there. In Basingstoke last night, I think we must have had 5 to 6, 700 fans in Basingstoke, and it's just unbelievable.
And just a final message for those fans.
Just thank you very much, and we're going to try our best to deliver the goods next year for you. Thank you very much. Cheers.
As far as I understand it, your post-match celebrations now just consist of you getting in your car, driving home and going to bed, is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're all professional athletes with 4 months off, so I imagine it'll be a cup of cocoa home to bed, maybe a beer upstairs, and I'll maybe resurface Thursday.
Not a chance. What a man.
Thank you very much.